Question 1. When was Australia formed as a nation? A. 1601, B. 1801, C. 1901. Correct answer C. 1901. Australia was formed as a nation in 1901 when the 6 separate British colonies federated to become the Commonwealth of Australia on the 1st of January 1901. This event is known as Federation. Question 2. What does freedom of speech mean in Australia? A. People are free to express their opinions about political issues. B. Men are given more legal rights than women. C. All people are required to follow a religion. Correct answer A. People are free to express their opinions about political issues. Freedom of speech in Australia means that people are allowed to express their opinions, ideas, and beliefs, including views about politics, without unfair punishment. This freedom supports open discussion and debate, which are essential parts of a democratic society. Question 3. All Australians are expected to treat each other with dignity and respect, regardless of A. Their race or country of origin, B. Their sexual orientation or marital status, C. Both of the above. Correct answer C. Both of the above. In Australia, everyone should be treated with dignity and respect, no matter their race, country of origin, sexual orientation, or marital status. Discrimination based on any of these characteristics goes against Australian values of equality and fairness. Question 4. Which type of freedom allows people to join a trade union? A. Freedom of religion, B. Freedom of movement, C. Freedom of association. Correct answer C. Freedom of association. Freedom of association means that people have the right to join or form groups, organisations, or unions, including trade unions. This freedom allows individuals to come together to protect their interests, especially in the workplace. Question 5. Which of the following characteristics are protected by Australian laws to ensure people are not treated unfairly? A. Their age, B. Their disability, C. Both of the above. Correct answer C. Both of the above. Australian laws protect people from being treated unfairly because of their disability or their age. These anti-discrimination laws are designed to promote fairness, equality, and respect for everyone in society. Question 6. What is a jury in Australia? A. Join the Australian Defence Force. B. Vote to change the Constitution in a referendum. C. Listen to the evidence in a court case and decide whether a person is guilty or not guilty. Correct answer C. Listen to the evidence in a court case and decide whether a person is guilty or not guilty. In Australia, a jury is made up of ordinary citizens who are selected to take part in the justice system. Their role is to listen carefully to the evidence presented in court and then decide whether the accused person is guilty or not guilty, based on the facts and the law. Question 7. Who can apply for children born overseas to become Australian citizens by descent? A. Australian citizens, B. Permanent residents of Australia, C. Migrants who have lived in Australia for over 10 years. Correct answer A. Australian citizens. Only Australian citizens can apply for citizenship by descent for their children who are born overseas. This process allows the child to become an Australian citizen because at least one parent is an Australian citizen at the time of the child's birth. Question 8. Which statement about the First Fleet is correct? A. It consisted of 11 convict ships. B. It arrived from Great Britain on 26 January 1788. C. Both of the above. Correct answer C. Both of the above. The First Fleet was made up of 11 ships, most of which carried convicts, along with soldiers and officials. It arrived from Great Britain on the 26th of January 1788, marking the beginning of the first European settlement in Australia at Sydney Cove. Question 9. On Anzac Day, Australians remember which of the following? A. The creation of an independent Australian nation. B. All Australians who have fought and died in wars. C. The arrival of the First Fleet from Great Britain. Correct answer B. All Australians who have fought and died in wars. Anzac Day, observed on 25th April, is a national day of remembrance. Australians commemorate the service and sacrifice of all Australians who have fought and died in wars, conflicts, and peacekeeping operations. Question 10. A welcome to country can be delivered by whom? A. Anyone who lives on the land. B. A master of ceremonies at an event on the land. C. An Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander custodian of the land. Correct answer C. An Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander custodian of the land. A welcome to country is a formal ceremony that can only be delivered by an Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander person who is a traditional custodian of the land. It recognises the continuing connection of First Nations peoples to their land. Question 11. Which migrants did Australia encourage to settle during the early 1900s? A. British. B. Brazilians. C. South Sudanese. Correct answer A. British. During the early 1900s, the Australian government encouraged British migrants to settle in Australia. At that time, Australia had strong historical and cultural ties with Great Britain, and government policies supported migration from Britain. Question 12. Where are Torres Strait Islander peoples from? A. Islands between Australia and New Zealand. B. Islands between the Australian mainland and Tasmania. C. Islands between the northern tip of Queensland and Papua New Guinea. Correct answer C. Islands between the northern tip of Queensland and Papua New Guinea. Torres Strait Islander peoples come from the Torres Strait Islands, which are located between the northern tip of Queensland and Papua New Guinea. They have their own distinct cultures, languages, and traditions, which are different from those of Aboriginal peoples on the mainland. Question 13. Which statement correctly describes the rights or requirements of people in Australia? A. Australian citizens are eligible to receive an Australian passport. B. Permanent residents are eligible to receive an Australian passport. C. Australian citizens must have a visa to enter Australia. Correct answer A. Australian citizens are eligible to receive an Australian passport. Only Australian citizens have the right to apply for and hold an Australian passport. A passport is an official document that proves citizenship and allows international travel. Question 14. What does it mean that the Australian government is secular? A. Laws are created based on religious beliefs. B. Everyone employed by the government is required to practice a religion. C. The government functions independently of churches or religious organisations. Correct answer, C. The government functions independently of churches or religious organisations. When the Australian government is described as secular, it means that religion is kept separate from government. The government does not favour or support any particular religion, and laws are made based on democratic principles, not religious beliefs. Question 15. People move to Australia for which of the following reasons? A. To join family. B. To make a new life. C. Both of the above. Correct answer, C. Both of the above. People move to Australia for many different reasons. Some come to join family members, others come to build a new life with better opportunities, and many seek safety and protection by escaping poverty, war, or persecution. Australia's migration and refugee programs reflect these varied reasons. Question 16. How do Australians believe change should happen? A. Through the power and influence of rich individuals. B. Through open discussion, peaceful persuasion, and democratic processes. C. When political leaders decide that change is necessary. Correct answer, B. Through open discussion, peaceful persuasion, and democratic processes. Australians believe that change should happen in a peaceful and democratic way. This includes discussing ideas openly, persuading others without violence, and using democratic systems such as voting and parliamentary debate. These methods ensure that change reflects the will of the people and respects everyone's rights. Question 17. Cradle Mountain, Port Arthur and the Bay of Fires are found in which Australian state? A. Brisbane. B. Tasmania. C. Western Australia. Correct answer, B. Tasmania. Cradle Mountain, Port Arthur and the Bay of Fires are all famous landmarks located in Tasmania, an island state south of the Australian mainland. Tasmania is well known for its natural beauty and historic sites. Question 18. Which statement best describes an acknowledgement of country? A. An opportunity to recognise that the gathering is on Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander land. B. It can be delivered by anyone. C. Both of the above. Correct answer, C. Both of the above. An acknowledgement of country is a way to recognise and show respect to the Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander peoples, who are the traditional custodians of the land where an event is taking place. Unlike a welcome to country, an acknowledgement of country can be delivered by anyone, Indigenous or non-Indigenous. Question 19. What does the principle of the rule of law mean? A. People are free to express their opinions in speech and writing and share ideas with others. B. Power is held by the citizens. C. No individual, organisation or religious authority is above the law. Correct answer, C. No individual, organisation or religious authority is above the law. The rule of law means that all people and institutions are subject to the same laws. This includes government officials, individuals, and religious groups. Everyone must obey the law, and no one has special legal power that places them above it. Question 20. What does Australia Day celebrate? A. The sacrifice of Australians who served and died in wars, conflicts, and peacekeeping operations. B. The anniversary of the arrival of the First Fleet from Great Britain in 1788. C. The achievement of the 8-hour working day for Australian workers. Correct answer B. The anniversary of the arrival of the First Fleet from Great Britain in 1788. Australia Day, celebrated on the 26th of January, marks the arrival of the First Fleet in 1788 at Sydney Cove from Great Britain. This event is often regarded as the beginning of European settlement in Australia. Thank you for watching. How many questions did you pass? Don't forget to like, subscribe for me. Bye.